Take one. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the I.F.A.T.S channel where the music lives on. My name is Pamela D, and I am here with a very dedicated member to I.F.A.T.S, and her name is Adrienne Grooms. Adrienne, welcome to where the music lives on.
Hi.
Hey, it's wonderful to have you here, and I am so glad to see you. And I appreciate the fact that you did accept our offer to be interviewed. So that's really fascinating to me, and I'm glad you're here. Now, Adrienne, before we get into the heart of the matter here, I want you to tell viewers or listeners a little bit about yourself.
So I am a native of Atlanta, Georgia, born and raised, went to high school, North Fulton High School, college at Clark College, and did 30 years in law enforcement with Fulton County Sheriff's Office, where I retired as a captain.
Wow, very impressive. I love that. I love that. So you were Atlanta. Atlanta has, wow, we'll get into that later too. But you are, as we mentioned earlier, of course, a member of I.F.A.T.S. So let me know, how did you find us? What was the motivation for you becoming a member?
So while on Facebook, I was just scrolling on my feed, and I just really just happened upon a post, clicked on it, saw it was music that I liked. So I was like, let me just go to the page itself and scroll through the page. And I was like, okay, this would be something that I would like to be a member of. So I checked joined, and you guys accepted me, and I've just been enjoying it ever since.
Yeah, that is great. That is great. Now, how long do you think you've been a member?
Ooh, maybe 4 years. I know
Oh,
I got into it really during around the pandemic. So
okay.
maybe 2 3 years, something like that.
Okay. All right. Great. Now, excuse me, you know what our usually what our format is as far as the music that we share. Now, generally we accept any type of music except rap. Now, when Ty actually began this magnificent page, we started off with just songs on the B side, the flip side of the record,
Right.
those that don't often get noticed. And now, of course, that has evolved. And what I would like to know is your music, the type of music you do like, and the influences that may have uh, caused you to like this particular music.
So my sister is 5 years older than me. So I grew up to listening to all kind of music. Uh, Born in 1968, in the 70s, you had everything. So I listened from rock to R&B to classic to jazz, just anything. I'm just a chameleon of music.
Oh.
So you can never really just pin down, okay, what does Adrienne really like? Okay, you never would know, because it just really depends on what I'm feeling at that moment.
Okay.
But I just like all kind of music. So and what I like to do, especially like on Sundays when we have the whatever the genre will be for that Sunday, I try to pull songs out that people hadn't heard in a while or don't
Mhm.
know anything about. And I know some people are probably like, okay, how she knows that? Like, well, I got it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, well, that's really great. And I like that. I like when because I've been watching your posts for a very long time, trust me.
Okay.
And I like when that happens. I'm not expecting this, or maybe I am expecting this, or if I didn't expect this, I am definitely going to be looking forward to the next post by Adrienne Grooms. So, what is, I know you mentioned that you're a chameleon of music, and I love that. Now, did you grow up in a household full of music?
Yes. So my sister and I always had albums, always had 45s. We had our mom's music. She passed away early in life, but she listened to Sarah Vaughan and Donna Washington, Ray Charles. So James Brown, Live at the Apollo, I got it. Fifth Dimension, The Association. So, Wes Montgomery. So I just listened, or I grew up around all different types of music. So that just gave me just I don't know, I guess you could say a catalog of
Uh,
different styles, So I just like everything. And then we had a radio station here, Z93, that
mhm.
played rock and pop music. So, I listened to stuff that people would be like, okay, how she know about Daryl Hall and Hall and Oates and all these different groups. I'm like, well, this is the type of music I like.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
so I just listen to everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think a lot of times when we're hanging around our people, so to speak, they expect everyone to have that same type of like or a love for R&B. And of course
Right,
we do, but you have to be able to expand. And just like you say, you don't want to be pinned down to one specific genre.
right.
So now you mentioned the fact that your sister is 5 years older.
Yes.
Now, how was her influence on you with this music? Because 5 years, it doesn't seem like it's a lot, but it is when you think about it, because 5 years older and the music changed so quickly. So there is a host of music that can definitely be passed down.
Oh yeah. So my sister was heavy into Parliament Funkadelic,
Mm-hmm.
Prince, Stevie Wonder, Gladys Knight and the Pips, all these albums we had. So I would dig into her crate and pull out songs or pull out albums to listen to. And with an album, you just don't listen just for one song. You
Uh-huh.
listen for the entire album. So like Stevie Wonder songs in the Key of Life, you listen to it was double albums. So you listening to both sides on both of the records.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you can get your house clean, doing your homework, whatever. But it was that good music to listen to get stuff done around the house. So basically, Saturday morning was the time to put on an album and then get your chores done because you got a
Yeah.
whole album to work with.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I agree with you on that. As far as the cleaning now, if I'm studying, I may be having a hard time trying to pay attention. Oh wow, I love that. I love that. Now my brother was or is 5 years older than me too. So I used to do the same thing. I used to do the very same thing. I would go and sneak in his room and look at those album crates. I'm like, I was so mesmerized by all that because it just seemed like, God, where did he getting all this from? And I love it. And I still, like you, have albums today. Now, how many do you think you have? What is your collection like, Adrienne?
Well, my numbers have dwindled, but I will say I have maybe now about 80 albums,
Mm.
uh 30 45s, and about 120 cassette tapes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think when those cassette tapes came out, and of course eventually CDs, we could just compile all our
Oh
music.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I love albums. Now, who are some of your famous artists, and which artists do you have maybe that gets you right there in that mood, and you say, "Yeah, I just got to put on Luther for interest." Who do you like?
So I really love Barbara Streisand.
Oh, okay.
So I started listening to her think I was 8 or 9 years old
Uh-huh.
uh, when I saw the movie A Star Is Born. And from then on, it's like, okay, I fell in love with the voice. So I have all her albums. I can put one on and just go from beginning to end. I like her, of course, Stevie Wonder, Gladys Knight, love Dionne Warwick, love Dusty Springfield.
Uh-huh.
My jazz, love Ella, love Nancy Wilson, Dinah Washington. Um, my rock, Motley Crue, Van Halen, Kiss, um, male singers, of course, George Michael,
Uh-huh.
Luther, Michael Jackson, Prince,
Mm-hmm.
um, female singers, solo singers, um, of course, Diana Ross,
Yeah.
Patti LaBelle. Um, I love Gladys Knight solo and with the Pips.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so you just give me anything. I probably got it and probably heard it.
I
Classical music, love Mozart, love
uh-huh.
Chopin, love Beethoven, love my big band. So
Mhm.
Glenn Miller. I mean, I just love music.
Listen, I'm enjoying hearing the music that you love because that is a lot of I can't believe it. See, I knew it, Adrienne. I knew there was a connection. I knew it. I love that. I love that. Now, speaking of music, as we are, is there something about music today that you may dislike, or you're just thinking that it's probably the usual evolution of music?
Okay, so even though I know with our platform we don't put rap or use rap on the platform. So the rap of today, I don't too much like. I prefer the Sugar Hill Gang and going up to maybe 1990, 91, something like that.
Okay.
I enjoyed that part of rap. When you can Rapper's Delight and you can do the whole song,
Yeah, yeah.
the whole 12 minutes,
Mhm.
but like some of the stuff that they're playing today, it's like, okay, it all sounds the same. It's all just computerized. You cannot translate from the studio to live, you know,
Okay.
and is I call it bubblegum rap because it doesn't make any sense, you know. Um and you cannot discredit or put down those that came before you, which some of these artists do, not all, but some of them do.
Yes.
And it's like, they paved or they made a foundation, you know, and if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be where you are now,
Yeah.
so that's how I look at it.
I completely agree with you on that. Do you think R&B has lost something? Do you think R&B is still here, or do you think there is just another evolution of it, or is it just is it a thing of the past? It's just that we were just lucky to live back in those days and hear that. What do you think?
So R&B will always be here. It's just going to change with the time. Good ballads, good balladeers is going to always be here. Good ballads are always going to be here. But everything has evolved. The song now what's this guy London who sings who was he's an artist under Snoop Dogg.
Hmm.
So he puts you in the mind of a young Marvin Gaye of the 70s.
Yes.
He has that
Yes.
Marvin Gaye sound. So it's getting people who never heard of Marvin Gaye. You listening to this young cat and he's singing. It's like, okay, my mama told me about this guy named Marvin Gaye. Let me see, can I, listen to one of his songs? And you may pull out of the song I Want You.
Mm-hmm.
Pull that out, and where Marvin is doing the overdubbing, and it's like, huh, okay, that's where this guy get this from.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's all about change, evolution, but it's never going to go away.
Okay.
R&B is always here, going to be here.
Okay. All right. Good. Good. I like that. I like the because I could hear the passion, the excitement when it comes to talking or even listening about music because I feel that same way too. I think I'm had people fall asleep on me because I've talked about music. But now going back to the page, how has uh first before I ask that, what is one of your favorite events on I.F.A.T.S? Which one do you like the best?
Well, I like the one when you pick a different on Sundays when it's a different genre
Super Sunday.
or or a different I remember you used to do stuff during the week. I was able to catch them sometimes. Sometimes I wasn't able to get those. But the ones on Sundays when
Yeah,
it's
that's the
different, and I catch it on Saturday so I can get in mind what I want to pull out, and
yes.
then I will try to look and see first to see what somebody has posted, and because I try my best not to repeat what somebody else has already posted,
Mhm.
if at all possible. But just prime example, this past Sunday with the group of four, and,
Yes,
and
yes.
I pulled out one from the Impressions.
Uh-huh.
It's your love and power. And one guy was like, "Oh, I haven't heard this in a long time."
Oh wow. Don't you love that? Don't
Oh
you
yeah.
love
Oh
that?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow. Um now a lot of times when you share a song, Adrienne, you do provide information to that post, which I love. Now, do you have an in-depth knowledge of music, or is it something that you heard, or you've definitely tried to educate yourself on this music?
I think it's a little of both. I have a knowledge, but I also try to educate myself on a particular piece, especially if it's a song that I really, really like, and I try to get some background, you know,
Mhm.
from it. So I try to give the people a little bit more than just popping the song up there, and I try to give them a little bit. It could be something that could have happened to me, a memory, or I just finished cutting grass, and I'm hearing this song in my head while I'm driving down the street. I'm
Yeah.
hearing it in my head, and then I turn on the radio and it's on. I'm like, look at this, So
Oh my gosh, great. That's really, really good, Adrian. I'm enjoying this conversation. I really, really am. Excuse me. Now, since you've been there, I don't need to know like I'm not trying to get into any personal life, but I just want to know how has your interaction been with any of the members? Is it have you made some good I should say online relationships maybe within the group? And I don't
no,
mean in a personal way, just for fun, just having, hey, look, and I share this whenever you see someone, oh, there's that person and you're happy to see them.
yeah, it's been a couple of people that we will trade conversations on a
Okay.
piece, and it's been maybe two or three people that I've enjoyed, just trading conversation on some of them. It's I like the page, man. I
Yeah,
just like the page.
yeah, and that's great because we do strive for people to get along, to have a harmonious page, none of this drama or anything like that. We just want to be about music and those people who can share this information with one another. Have you when was the last time you've been to a concert and who was that artist that you saw?
Oh, let's see. Oh, I went and saw Chicago
Oh, wow.
um at here in Atlanta at Chastain, and they were the closing act of the season for Chastain, and it was on a Saturday night, and they closed with the song Saturday in the Park.
Uh-huh.
And then just recently, I forgot about this one. Just recently, I saw the group Mother's Finest.
Oh
Just
my
saw
God.
them a couple weeks ago.
Wow. Wow. I haven't heard from them in quite some time.
Yeah.
Are the original members still there that you know?
Yes. Yes.
Wow. That's
Yes.
how was it was it a blast?
Oh, it was great.
Oh,
It was
nice.
great.
Nice. Now, you live in Atlanta, and it's one of the music capitals, in the United States. How has does that sort of heighten your interest in this music? I mean, you're right there. I mean, you got the Ushers and you have the Jermaine Dupri's and all of these people. And I think I'm not sure about Babyface. Is he there with you?
He well, he started out here, and
Okay.
then he went out to LA. But like Jermaine Dupri, you know, I've seen him when he was before he got big at
Okay.
Greenbrier Mall. So, so it was, seeing a young Usher, you know.
Yes. Yes.
So you got a chance to escape, seeing them. Um some of the members of Escape were around the same age.
Okay.
So, they went to Tri-City High School. So you kind of, some of the people you knew before they got big.
Or there. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow. So I wanted to also ask you, go back to a little bit about your family life. You mentioned your mom. Now, your father, what was his taste in music like?
Well, my dad, he really didn't listen to music that
No.
much. He didn't. My dad was older, so now he would, if I have something playing, he would be, who is that? And then, I tell him, and then he may sit and listen, for a little bit. Now, if a good old movie is on, that's gonna catch his attention. I'm looking at Imitation of Life. He gonna stop what he doing and watch the movie.
Oh boy. Excuse me. Now, I wanted to ask you something regarding your like for rock. And and actually it involves rock and these bands,
Yeah.
because I don't know too many rock bands anymore except the ones that we grew up with, especially those in the 70s. I mean, I saw on television the other day that the Rolling Stones are getting ready to tour. They got a new album, and
Oh
I'm just
yeah, I've seen them twice.
yeah. Oh, did you? Did
Yeah.
you? So, I mean, I know with the way the music is nowadays, that a lot of these bands, especially R&B groups, because you don't see them on stage anymore unless you're going to an oldies show. So
Right.
the rock bands seem to be a little bit more sustainable, even though there's not as many, but they're definitely still out there doing their thing. Why do you think that is?
So with rock bands or uh they have a following. Now, you know, we have a following with what is it? Frankie Beverly and Maze. Wherever Frankie Beverly and Maze is, people's going. Even with this year being the farewell tour,
Uh-huh.
people was going to wherever he was performing, you know.
Okay.
But with the rock bands, it's the Stones haven't had an album in
About
since
18
the
years.
late 80s.
Yeah.
But the concert both times I went was sold out, you know.
Uh,
And they have a catalog of music
mhm.
that will take you from the fans from the 60s, the fans from the 70s, the fans from the 80s, the fans for the 90s. So wherever you fit at in that decade, there was music for you from that particular group, you know. The same with now they don't perform anymore, but like with Kiss and Motley Crue, same thing. Kiss, Kiss with makeup, Kiss without makeup. Motley Crue was a big hair band in the
Uh-huh.
80s.
Uh-huh.
They had they rock ballad with Home Sweet Home,
Mm-hmm.
that most football games at the end will play that song when they're clearing out the stadium,
Uh-huh.
you know. And it's just, people just have a following. And regardless of whether you're white, black, if you like good music, you just like good music. And some of the rock bands had some great writers, songwriters was in there,
I agree.
great musicians, Guns N' Roses, Axl Rose, great piano player, you know,
Mhm.
Eddie Van Halen, great guitarist, played on Michael Jackson's album, played Beat It, the
Yeah.
guitar riff, but also a great piano player, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So you get some of everything with rock groups, and it's not just pigeonhole, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, no, I understand quite well. I understand quite well. And one more thing on that. Do you know or have a feeling as to why, and it could be the same thing we alluded to earlier, the state of R&B music, why they're not these groups anymore. They're just, I don't see them. Like I said, unless they are at a retro concert.
Yeah, when the grunge era started, with
Mhm.
Nirvana and all these groups.
Sure.
So when grunge started, then your hair bands sort of um
Oh yes,
they
faded.
started to lead, they started to fade. Then
Mhm.
you had your grunge music, grunge garage bands. You had that group. And I mean some great musicians in that group, Smashing Pumpkins, Nirvana,
Uh-huh.
great groups. You also had your I call it the third wave of the British invasion, with
Okay.
Depeche Mode, ABC, uh,
Mhm. Mhm.
Human League that came out in the 80s. So that was like your next wave of British music that came out.
Mhm.
So that style of music was different from what was the first wave.
But
Grunge
correct.
was totally, totally different from hair bands,
Mhm.
and then so like now, grunge is kind of faded, and they have I call it going back to, it's kind of like pop, kind of popish grunge, but
Give
not
me a
as,
little bit of disco in it, if you will.
yeah, yeah. Well, disco never left.
Yeah.
You know, disco never left. It just changed to
It's just
techno. It never left.
yeah. Well, Adrian, I have to let you know that this was really, really a wonderful conversation. And again, I want to thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to speak with you and get your take on music. And it was really, really enlightening. Now, that question, that
Yes.
one question, if you were asked to name one song and one song only that you could only listen to, just well, whatever the situation is, but you had that one option of choosing that song, and which song would that be?
Oh, don't make me over.
Oh, okay. Now, why is that, Adrian?
So don't make me over is basically um, that anthem
Mm-hmm.
that can resonate from any decade that you're in. Can resonate for anyone who um, uh, somebody wants to change.
Uh-huh.
You
Uh-huh.
can't make me over. Accept me for what I am. You
Uh-huh.
know, so that, and you only said one song, so that's
Yeah.
by
Yeah,
one
yeah,
song.
yeah. Listen, I'll put an asterisk about this what's that second one?
So the second song would be another one would be Diana Ross, I'm Coming Out.
Yes, 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 yes. That song. I listened to it the other day, just the other day while I was coming out the shower. But I'm adding into it. I'm coming out. Think I'm coming out the shower. Oh my gosh, I love that, Adrienne. I love that. Thank you so much for this time that you've given us. And you know, now that I know a little bit more, I am going to be looking for your post, I should say, even more so.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's been a pleasure. And I thank you so much again. So much.
Thank you.
All right. You take care.
All right, you too.
Take one.